Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new Road to Class A video game analysis with me. I won my first round in the Summer Swiss tournament, and this is round 2. And I believe this is game number 31. 32 actually. This is game 32 in my Road to Class A series. I'm playing someone that we've seen before, Ashish Mishra. And I've recently, in the last couple of months, switched over to E4. So I know that Ashish will play an Alekhine. He plays the Alekhine Defense against E4. So a lot of my prep for the week was against E4 Knight F6. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm really comfortable. And now I've not gotten any wins against Ashish yet at this point. He's 1860 and I'm 1720. So my skills have been improving, but I spent a lot of time working on how to play against the Alekhine. And this is pretty standard stuff. You kind of attack the knight, move the knight around. And the idea that you get this great expansion really quickly and you kick this knight around for white, but the idea for the Alekhine player is that you're hoping that white overextends by moving your knight a couple of times. So there's this kind of back and forth element to the opening. I think it can really get people off of their game. But knowing that he plays the Alekhine, I was able to prepare very well for him, which I thought was nice. So knight to c3, g6, e3, bishop g7. This is all pretty standard stuff. Rook to c1, you're getting it out of the long-term range of that bishop. Castles, b3. I'm already trying to get my setup. I'm really happy with what I've gotten so far. I prefer 3 knight f3. It's a bit sharper, but this is definitely a safe way to get a static advantage. And I think right now we're okay. I got everything I wanted out of the opening. I'm not quite castled yet, but I'm going to work on that soon. Knight to c6. Pretty standard. h3. It doesn't like that move, but I want to keep the bishop out of here. Bishop to f5, which I assumed, but it shows that it's a mistake. It would rather, the engine would rather him play e5, and we'd get a situation like this. And that's okay. I'm okay with this. I was kind of hoping for this. This was a line I really liked because then I could continue. Played knight to b4, bishop to c5, and then we would get a move like this, and then I can castle right after that, and we can continue on. So I was thinking of that line, but I did not get that line. He played here instead, and I developed normally. It doesn't like it. I don't know why, because it wants me to play d5, but you know, I think I have to disagree with the engine here because I like the way I played it better, even though it says it's a mistake. I feel a lot more comfortable with this. D takes e5, d takes e5, queen takes queen, and rook f takes d8. And I feel like it's probably an even game, and there's either one of us have something to play for. However, in this particular position, I'm rather excited because I feel like I've got a better way to play. It says that this is a interesting or dubious move. I'm not sure if I like this move or not, but I feel as though it's good because it really starts to control the knights. And it gives me an option to play a bishop to f or bishop to c4, which is why I played this move. I want to get my bishop here and line it up on the king. He played knight to d7, and I played bishop to c4. With the knight on d7 and not traded off, it stands a lot better for me. It's actually not better for me. This is actually a small slight advantage to black, but I feel like his pieces are a little jammed up, and for me, I think it's hard for him to untangle. And for me, I think it's much easier to play. So He played h6. I played knight to b5. I'm keying in on this square here or here. And it doesn't like my move, or the engine doesn't like my move. However, I played g4 and bishop e6 would have been a better way to go. You probably could have done both and then kind of taken this off, and then he would have had to deal with these pawns along with my knights coming in here. This is probably a better way to play it for sure. I'm not upset with the way I played it. I think I did pretty well. But bishop to f8, knight to d6. And what I thought was maybe potentially castling here. But this pawn is under attack. And I saw this particular scenario. This might be better. But I feel as though maybe I'm up a tempo. Instead, it happens like this. And instead of castling, I decided to play king to e2. It actually wants me to castle. The engine says castling is better. Now, it's probably a horse apiece, really. I mean, it doesn't really matter either way. I know it says that this is inaccuracy, but knight to f6. I need to protect this pawn. Rook h to d8. Knight to e4. And I think that was kind of a mistake. It marks it as an inaccuracy, but I feel like this is really hard to deal with. And I think he should have better played that. Instead, I played g4. I think bishop e5. I saw bishop b5, and I saw this move. And I was really kind of scared about this. But yeah, he's also got this. So if I come here, he's got this check and he saves the knight and then he forks my pieces. So I was really kind of scared about that. But I think here it's a little bit different. Here we can take, h4, knight takes a2, rook to c7, and I've got rooks on the 7th rank, and this is going to be hard for him. And this is going to be very difficult for black. So this pass pawn is really strong. So that didn't happen. g4, bishop g6. I think a better would have been e6. It keeps the knight alive longer, I think, long enough to find some sort of counterplay. This is always on tap. So that's what I was expecting. He didn't do that. I saw this move, this type of scenario as well. I didn't do that. I played bishop d5, and it says it's a blunder, but I think it's actually, I feel like it's really good. Because what happened was exactly what I thought would happen. Yeah, he played here, and his best option would have been taking the bishop, but he didn't do that. He took here, that's why it's a blunder. King takes d1, rook to d8, king to e2, and b takes c6. And this was a really good move for him, but at this point I think the game it's still not easy to win, but it is, I believe, winning for white. So I still have to be careful of this, but at this point I've got that covered. I can pick up the knight or the c pawn. Now the question was, do I pick it up with the rook, or do I pick up this pawn, or do I pick up this pawn? And to me, I thought it was better to pick up this pawn because this will always be a weakness, and he could potentially protect this. And then also I can either take here or take the bishop off. So I took with the knight, rook to d6, which was a really good move. And then I thought, well, okay, rook takes c6, knight takes rook takes c6, knight takes c6, and knight takes c3. And I'm going to lose this pawn, but he's going to lose that one. And I thought, instead of taking that, I'm going to put him in check and take the bishop first. There's a lot of things, and it's really tricky to go. I thought that it was best for me to take the bishop first. And that's exactly what I did. And it's okay. It's a very good move. I like it. I think his last move, trying to take that pawn, he had to deal with my knight coming in here. So I think he was a bit greedy, kind of coming after this pawn. I think it would have been much more difficult for me to deal with if he just played like here and then here. These pawns are going to be tough to deal with, but I don't know. It's tough to say. But he took, so I thought it was best to peel this off, and then he got this pawn mass over here, and then we got this guy. And I thought this was really good because I feel like he was at a point that he was going to march his king forward and try to queen these pawns and forget about this knight can easily be trapped. And my idea was to trap that piece. And I played bishop to c5, and now he has no squares for the knight. And I thought, okay, well, it's time to go after that piece. And I did exactly that. He's kind of coming in, and I thought for a while here, and I thought, okay, I can take the knight, and there's no way he can get through because my bishop is here. And now it's just a matter of converting at this point. So worst case scenario, I can come over here and get these pawns and then take this one down. So, but instead of doing all that, I kind of played in this way, get the queen, and then checkmate that way. And this was my first win against Ashish, so I'm extremely happy. I'm 2-2 in the Summer Swiss. I've won the first and second round, and I haven't picked up a win against Ashish. So Ashish was, admittedly enough, not on his game that night, but I happened to be, so I was able to get one off of him, which was nice. And he's 140 points above me at this point in the tournament, so I was pretty happy to do that. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and share. It really helps me out. It shows me that you like this type of material and you want to see more. And I'm really happy to share my journey with you, all the wins and the losses, so that way you guys can see what it's like to recover from a win or learn from your wins. Or sorry, recover from a loss and learn from your losses, but also we want to learn from our wins too. And there was quite a bit to learn from this game. Actually, if I scroll up and look at the engine, you can't see it. Maybe I can move it over so you can see. I played 91% accurate. It's not too bad. It's pretty decent game. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope you have a great day.